Winners focus on winning, losers focus on winners. That's a famous quote from Tom Brady. Everyone knows Tom Brady. Whether you're interested in sports or not, you've heard his name. Now, what many people don't know is in 2008, Tom Brady tore his ACL and his MCL. Per the Hartford Courant's 2008 newspaper article, a report that Tom Brady has torn his ACL and MCL. Luckily for Tom Brady, advancement has already started, and his recovery was much smoother than some of the famous people who tore it in the past. Not only Brady tore his ACL though, hundreds of thousands of people do every single year. Whether they do it in work, recreation, or in sports, everyone does it. Lots of people have done it. I am an athlete, so I'm hyper aware of these kind of injuries that can occur. And I want to be a PT, so I find them incredibly interesting. But you shouldn't just take my word for it. I've used many different sources to collect information for this presentation, including Miller's 2016 book, Operative Techniques in Sports Medicine, Patterson et al.'s 2021 journal article, Exercise Therapy and Education for Individuals 1 year after anterior cruciate ligament, or ACL, reconstruction, a pilot randomized control, and Stanford Healthcare's website, published in 2017, Causes of Knee Ligament Issues. The ACL, or the anterior cruciate ligament, the MCL, or the medial collateral ligament, and the PCL, or the posterior cruciate ligament, are very interesting. And within the speech, I will give descriptions of the ligaments and the methods at which they tear, the recovery and repair process for each of the ligaments, and famous examples of injuries that have occurred within modern sports. Here's a picture of an ACL. It's the tendon in front, and it connects the femur to the tibia. And injuries to the ACL often happen when changing direction suddenly, like in football and basketball. Pivoting and stopping on a dime tend to hurt the ACL. The PCL, or the posterior cruciate ligament, is right behind the ACL, and injuries often occur when you're directly hit, but it primarily helps stability of your leg. Now, your medial collateral ligament helps stability too, and primarily injuries occur when you're hit directly on the ligament. Tears, that's how tears happen, but it prevents overextension of the leg. Now that you understand how injuries occur and where your ligaments are within your leg, you should know how they're repaired. In order to repair the ACL, they graft other tendons like the patella or your hamstring, and a pin is put through your leg in order to hold those tendons in place and let your body repair it themselves. It is worth mentioning that there are non-operative techniques to repair the ACL, but they aren't as common because they don't work as effectively. The PCL uses primarily non-operative techniques to repair injuries in isolation, but most surgical methods focus on other injuries that occur at the same time as a PCL injury. Similar non-operative approaches are used for the MCL, and they include grafting and stitching the torn ligament together in order to repair it. All ligament tears require a lot of recovery time, between 9 to 12 months. And it's important to know that it depends on the grade of the tear in order to determine the actual recovery time for the injury. Surgeries are one thing, but when are you actually going to see this? Well, some famous examples are Terrell Davis, an incredible running back for the Broncos, who tore his ACL in 1999, the year after he won the Super Bowl MVP. He tried to play again in 2000 and 2001 after he recovered from the injury, but he was forced to retire in 2002 because his play wasn't up to the standards of the NFL. Another example would be Bernard King, who was a 4-time All-Star in the NBA and once a scoring leader. But he tore his ACL in 1985 and missed the entire 1985 and 1986 season before attempting to come back and not fully succeeding. But now that you know now you know what your major ligaments are, how they're torn, how they're repaired, and the recovery process for each of the things, and some famous examples. These ligaments are very interesting and have great impacts on modern sports. 20 years ago, ligament tears ruined lives, ended careers, and destroyed quality of life. But thanks to modern medicine, we don't have to worry about any of that. Thank you.